Hey guys, what's up? My name is Tara Hack, and I am a subway musician from New York. In episode 1, I discussed the process of being a subway musician as part of the Musicians Under New York program. Basically, I was just going over the process for anyone who is interested in joining. If you haven't heard that, but you feel like it might benefit you or someone you know, please check that out on my YouTube page at Tara Hack Music. Subscribe, like, comment. Don't be a jerk. In episode 3, I'm going to discuss what kind of equipment you need to perform, so stay tuned for that. Before I get into my story, anyone who's looking to see where I'll be performing next can go to www.tarahack.com for a list of all upcoming shows and performances. So I actually first heard about the Musicians in New York program back in 2007. And I heard about it from my father, who was commuting in for work, and he would see people playing, and he said, hey, why don't you do that? So I sent him my application form, and I didn't get in. Thanks, Dad. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't remember if they passed me to the next round. I think I might have went to the live audition. Well, I'm not sure. But either way, I didn't get in that year, and I didn't get in for another 7. But I didn't let that stop me because I started going in anyway. Tell me I can't. But in all seriousness, it is possible to be ticketed for performing with amplification without a permit. Luckily, I didn't get in any trouble, but just keep that in mind if that's something that you're thinking of doing. So 2008, I put all my stuff in a suitcase, like equipment, not like clothes, but I put all my equipment in a suitcase. I should probably specify that. And I took my guitar and I started taking the train from the city. I'm about an hour and 15 minutes outside of the city, so I would hop on the train at Babylon and take it in. Now, as I mentioned in the previous podcast, they run on 3-hour shifts. So sometimes people show up, sometimes people leave early. It really depends. So if I got into Penn around 11:30, I knew that the next performance time started at noon. So now one of 3 things could happen. And this happened way more times than it didn't. The person at noon shows up. So now I know the spot will most likely be taken till 3. The person at noon doesn't show up, and the person who is playing from 9 a.m. to noon decides they're going to stay in the spot, realizing that other person's not coming. Or, and this one was most ideal for me, but it rarely happened, was that the person who was playing 9 a.m. to noon left, and the person from 12 to 3 didn't show up. Needless to say, though, I spent a lot of time waiting around for the spot, but it really helped me. I was discovering the city, I was listening to music, which I think really benefited my own ability to be able to create original music. And my calves are on point because 10 hours of walking around will do that to a person. Some days I'd play 3 songs before somebody showed up. Sometimes I'd get to play for 3 hours. And when I would play, people would come up to me and express how I made their day better and tell me to never give up. And, they would kind of come up to me and say, like, you have no idea what you did for me. When really it was like, you have no idea what you just did for me, because I hate to admit it, but there are so many times where I was just like, what am I doing? I wanted to pack up and I wanted to go home. And I mean, I guess that'll do that to you, right? I'm spending 10 hours, I'm lugging my own body weight and equipment. And it was so hit or miss. I had to commit to doing it more times than not because it wasn't like I had a guaranteed spot to play. And I'm not cut out for a non-creative role. So really, I mean, I wanted to do that. Music is my passion, so that's what it took. And I mean, I also didn't know it was going to take 7 years not getting a permit. Every year, people who were judges who were also part of the program that I became close with, they'd be like, this year is your year, like this next year is your year, you're in. And I think they really thought that too. I don't think anybody was lying to me at all. I think they were all pulling for me, and I think they were voting for me, but it just wasn't enough votes to outweigh the majority. So now, fast forward to 2010, I'm actually asked to be a part of a book about subway musicians. And this was, are you sure? Because I'm not really considered one yet. But it was called The Noise Beneath the Apple, and it's a 200-page book just filled with musicians and their stories. The author is Heather Jacks, who is now a really good friend of mine. I believe it's on Amazon, and I believe some of the proceeds go to Music Fund for Brooklyn College, I think I saw. So check that out if that's something that you're interested in. She actually heard about me from a member of the program, a very talented electric violinist, Lorenzo LaRocque. I mean, this guy is just cool. He's one of the people that if he saw me playing and he had the time, he would let me play for an hour before he came up to me. Joss Sticks, he's the Bob Marley guy. He also would do that a lot, where he would be like, yeah, I just grabbed lunch. And I'm like, dude, you're awesome. But Lorenzo, I mean, this guy performs everywhere. Madison Square Garden, Bella Magazine party in the Hamptons with like massive celebrities. I remember seeing pictures of him performing for Buzz Aldrin, the Royals, like the English Royals, like the real Royals. I think it was Kate Middleton. I couldn't find the picture online, but I know I've seen it before. And so Heather Jacks had me as being a part of this project before I was even considered official. I mean, believe it or not, like I actually was like, but I'm not a subway musician. I mean, I've been performing in the subway for years at this point now, at least 3 if it was 2010 or two. And I just felt like, oh, cool. Like, okay, I can hang. Thanks. You said I can come out to play? Thanks. Yeah, I felt the same way as when my big brother would say, like, yeah, you can come out, me and my friends. Like, what? Are you sure? Like, did mom make you do that? Are you sure? But that's the kind of stuff that keeps you going and makes you want to be that way too. And that's why I wanted to start this podcast. I hope I can help somebody the way that I was helped. So now, fast forward to 2014, I send in my application and I'm just laughing at this point. Like, I don't even know why I'm still doing this. Like, I know I'm not going to get it. It's going to be a no, like I could probably put money on it that it's going to be a no. I get in. So good thing I didn't bet. At first, I thought they were messing with me, I'm not going to lie, but they weren't. So I just felt so happy because at that point, that was the best thing in the world because now I knew when I was playing. I could count on the fact that I have 3 shows this week, plus whatever restaurant gigs that I have, which at that time, you get like one-off gigs, like, oh, you'll be here Monday, and then I wouldn't be there again. Now I have more consistent stuff, and that's also like a huge blessing because now you're like, okay, I know I'm going to be here 10 times this week. So I know like it's consistency. I know what I'm going to make a little bit better now, and it's a little less stressful. And when I got into the program, that couldn't have happened at a better time because 2013, I decided to go to college for radio and television production, something that was creative, and just in case this doesn't work out. And I was able to schedule shows now around my classes, which really helped me financially. I was able to go to work and also go to school, which I wouldn't have really been able to do that with another job that I would have enjoyed. Not something that I can be like, yeah, I can only come for 4 hours, But so now fast forward to 2018, and they asked me to be a judge for their live audition in May that takes place in Grand Central. I mean, talk about your Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm the king of the world moment. I went from not getting in to getting in to being a judge on the panel. If there's anything that I could pass on from my journey, it would be to never give up. I don't always strive with 100% force because I've had periods where I took off and was working temp jobs. They weren't temp at the time, but they became temp because I just always went back to music. I was a dental assistant for a while, a hostess, but you can't turn off something that you're completely passionate about. You can maybe stop it for a little bit, but eventually it's just, you have to do it. I've always come back to music. And now, I have a few songs coming out, an indie film called Magic Max. I've been a guest on WABC's The Bernie and Sid Show multiple times. I perform, every Friday at Nancy's Restaurant, Floral Park, which she found me, her sister, the owner of the restaurant, found me playing in Penn. And I've been there since 2013. So that's been a 5-year consistent gig. I'm not even close to where I could be, but I'm certainly enjoying the journey and every moment of it. So, as I said, if I can pass on one thing, it would be just follow your passion. Just forget everything else. Like if somebody says you can't do it, just show them why you can, because nobody should tell you can't do something. That's it for the Tarot Hack Podcast. If you want to see where I'll be playing next, you can see my upcoming performances at www.tarothack.com. As I mentioned, next week's episode, I'll give you a list of the equipment I use, as well as other people who perform. Basically, whatever information I can provide that would make this journey as smooth as possible for any performers. A lot of my journey was spent figuring out what didn't work, so I like to pass that so you can go out and perform with minimal problems. This information could also benefit people who play in backyards, private events, just anywhere that you can be mobile and have your stuff ready to go. Be well, be happy, be safe. Love you all.